Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the money games big companies play, and oh boy, do we have a doozy for you today. Weston is telling us a story with their latest filing, and it sounds a little like this. This is Weston, the French fry giant. You know them well. They just dropped their annual report for the year ending May 25, 2025. And get this, their sales are pretty much flat. Yeah, you heard that right, down a tiny bit from last year. So what's going on behind those golden fries? In North America, things are actually down by 2%. Now, they say this is because they're investing in price and trying to keep customers happy in a tough market. You know what that often means, lower profits for them. But internationally, they're doing a bit better. Sales are up 4%, more fries shipped outside the US and Canada. That's a good sign for their global reach. Stuck now, here's where it gets really interesting. Gross profit, their profit before a lot of other costs, that's down a whopping 21%. That red flag means it's costing them way more to make their products. They're blaming higher factory costs, lower production due to trying to cut down on inventory, and also more expense for things like transport and warehouses. Plus, they've got this big chunk of extra depreciation because they've been busy building new factories. And that hits their operating profit measure called adjusted EBITDA. For North America, it's down 13%. For international, it's down a huge 24%. Ouch. That's a big hit to their operating earnings. On top of all that, they reported a massive $118 in restructuring cost. This sounds like they're closing factories, cutting jobs, and just generally trying to cut costs to survive. All the while, they're also dealing with lawsuits. In June 2024, two class action lawsuits popped up, alleging they misled investors about their big computer system upgrade. And let's not forget about that antitrust lawsuit filed in November 2024. It feels like everyone is saying they might be fixing prices for fries. That's a serious accusation. They say they're fighting these claims, but this stuff can get expensive and damage their reputation. Then there's that thing with the ERP system upgrade. They admit this new system caused them a lot of headaches in the past with inventory errors and customer order issues. They've actually paused part of the rollout. This is a big behind-the-scenes problem that can totally mess up a company's operations and finances. Looking at their stock performance, though, it's been a rough ride. Their stock value has gone down significantly compared to major indexes over the last 5 years. This means if you invested in Weston 5 years ago, you'd likely have less money than if you'd invested in the S&P 500. They've also got a lot of debt, around $4.1 billion. That's a lot of money they owe, and it means a big chunk of their cash goes to paying off loans instead of growing the business. So what's my take on all this? Weston is facing some tough challenges. International sales are growing, but that's not enough to hide the problems back home in North America. Costs are way up, their profits are down, and they're spending a huge amount on restructuring. Plus, they're dealing with lawsuits that could be really damaging. They're trying to get things back on track with a new strategy called Focus to Win, but it's going to be a long road. They've got competition like McCain Foods and Simplot. With all these cost pressures and market challenges, it's hard to see them growing much anytime soon. They need to sort out those supply chain issues, improve efficiency, and somehow convince customers to buy more fries without lowering their prices too much. It's a tightrope walk. Alright, that's our breakdown of Weston's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.